Hello everyone, thank you for watching our prior videos about the forehand, the backhand. Last video, which was how to hit a great tennis volley in 4 easy steps. Today we're going to talk about how to hit a great tennis serve in 6 easy steps. So the serve is very complicated, but these 6 steps should get you going with the serve. I hope you enjoy the video. Here we go. Step number 1 is the grip. To find the right grip, we're gonna just slap our hand right on top of the racket on panel 2, the pointer finger knuckle on panel 2, heel of the hand on panel 2 as well. It's called the continental grip, very similar to the volley grip, but your pointer finger knuckle and the heel of your hand will actually be on that panel 2. This is what all the pros are using. It's a fundamental that all of the pros are using in the ATP and all the ladies are using in the WTA. Is this continental grip. It allows you to create slice, the kick spin, and also pronate and create that snap for the flat serve. So let me come closer and show you this grip here. There it is right there. There it is. There. There. Now talking about step number 2, which is the stance. So you want your left foot toe angled on right behind the baseline, and your right foot parallel to the baseline. Your right foot toe is just behind your left foot's heel, and again it's parallel to the baseline, as you can see here. We're going to talk about the platform stance today, which means your feet don't move when you're going to hit that serve. This is how Roger Federer serves. There's 2 types of stances. The platform, where your feet don't move when you're going to hit the serve, which is the pinpoint stance, which is where your feet slide together and then you push up and hit. So you want your right foot not equal to your left foot, but actually a little behind your left foot, so then your body is turned. So you can actually twist on the service motion, on the swing, and get that core involved to twist on that serve. As your right foot moves over more and more and more, notice my hips and shoulders turning more, which is what you don't want. You want your body turned when you're gonna, before you hit that serve and when you swing, so you're able to twist. So this right is the perfect stance. So now moving on to step number 3. Step number 3 is now the toss. So I say that the toss is 80% of the serve. So if you have a good toss, typically you're gonna have a good serve. If you have a bad toss, you should pull off. Don't hit that bad toss. If you have a good toss, you're gonna have a good serve. Just remember that. Moving to the toss. So you wanna move your left arm with your left shoulder. You don't want the wrist to move, and you don't want the elbow to move. So your left arm is it's extended. The left arm will be straight. Ball will be on the fingertips, on the first joint of the fingertips, resting and holding lightly. Your left arm will then go down and then up, and you'll want to release, as you can see here, when your arm is just above being parallel to the court. So just about at shoulder height is where you want to release. So here's the toss right here, down and up. And for this video, we're just going to want to put the toss location just in front of us and at a height to where we can go 1, 2, boom. And then on 3, we will hit it. There it is again. Left arm straight, left shoulder is doing the movement, releasing the ball as if it's an egg and putting the egg into a bird's nest. Releasing the pressure. It's not a toss, I like to call it a release. So that is how you do a perfect toss. Now moving to step number 4, after you release the ball and do your toss, we're gonna get into what's called the trophy position. So after you do your toss and the ball is in the air, you're then gonna turn your shoulders to the right and you can get a little back bend in, racket head will be up some. I like to teach my juniors that this kind of looks like a bow and arrow position. The racket head being the arrow, like you're gonna shoot a bow and arrow. This arc in my back here, it'll help get the elbow, keep the racket head up, and then your elbow will stay up as well. notice my wrist is also still flexed in this trophy position. So if we were to take a picture, I should look like a trophy here. Boom. Shoulders and hips will be in a line here. There should be a straight line here on my shoulder line and my hip line. Boom, right there. Left arm's up. So let's just do that real quick. Wrist is still locked, remember that. And trophy position. Okay, now moving on from step 4, which we just talked about, which was the trophy position, where you reach this position here. Okay? It allows you to actually drop your racket head, which is the next step. Step number 5, which is the racket drop. So you move your racket in the trophy position, the ball is going up, and then you'll just relax your arm. The wrist, it won't break open here. Your wrist won't break, which I see so often. Your wrist will be locked, and then you'll just relax your arm, kind of like a whip here. The trophy position is reached here. Boom. And the butt cap will face the sky, which will allow you to then throw the racket head up at the ball. This is very important that you relax your arm, but the wrist is firm. So then you can do your racket head drop, which will create a lot of racket head speed to add some pace to that serve, and fluidity, which is very important in the serve. So that is the step number 5, which is the racket drop. So now step number 6, which is the forward motion. It's very similar. It's almost identical to actually throwing a ball. As you can see, I'm turning my body to the right, reaching the trophy position, and then throwing the ball. And notice where my arm is. It's extended out to where I want to hit. I see this so often. My students are just moving their arm down and just to the left too early. The racket head actually needs to move out where you want to hit, which is very similar to that throw that I just showed you. So let's do that one more time. Notice I'm turning and boom, arm is out. And that is the forward motion. Let's just review the steps here real quick. So step number 1, which is the grip. So you have that continental grip, the pointer finger knuckle and the heel of the hand are on panel number 2. You can start with your strings open here in the wrist lock. That's how I like to begin the serve. Step number 2 now is the stance. Left foot is at an angle right behind that baseline. Right foot is parallel to the baseline, and the right foot toe is equal to the your left foot's heel. Now step number 3, which is that toss. The left arm stays straight. The ball is in the fingertips of your left hand, not holding too tight. And remember, it's not a toss. We're going to call it a release. The shoulder then moves the ball, and you release the ball just about above shoulder height. And we're putting that toss. The placement will be just in front of your head. Right? Boom. There. Okay? Now moving into step number 4, which is the trophy position. So after you toss, you're then going to, boom, reach this position here. Okay, the toss and boom, racket head up, wrist lock so the strings are closed. Not letting that wrist be loose so the strings are opening, but keeping them closed. And that is the trophy position. Step number 5 then, which is the racket drop. So you're moving and boom, the racket head drops. And like that whip right there. Shoulders and hips are turned. The left shoulder can actually even be a little more in front of the right shoulder so you can see my back. You'll get a little more, boom, twist and get a little more power using that ripped core of yours. And that's step number 5, which is the racket drop. Remember, you want that butt cap facing the sky. Now, step number 6, let's just talk about it right now again, which is that forward swing. Boom. And so you want your arm to extend on that forward swing, hitting the ball then at its peak. The hardest thing with this serve, it's the hardest shot in the game, is the timing of the toss and the racket movement. I like to say it's the 1, 2, 3 timing. 1, 2, boom, and then 3 you strike it. So let's just hit one real quick here and let's see what happens. So here we go. 1, 2, That's steps 1 through 6 on how to hit a great tennis serve. It's the fundamentals of the serve. The serve is very difficult. Take something from that. Post any comments if you have questions, because the serve is very complicated. There's probably 100 steps to the serve. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if you like our videos. Post any comments, like the video. Thank you all for everything. 안녕히 가세요. Bye everyone.